You are watching Gabriola Island TV, community television for you, by you.
Hello, welcome. My name is Lisa Webster. I'm a volunteer with the Life on Gabriola Media Society, and it's my pleasure and honor today to interview Brenda Joy, President of the Gabriola Museum. And Brenda, we're going to talk about the latest exhibit that we have here, and I think it's one that you're very proud of and is quite a monumental one. So I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce yourself the way that you would like, and to give us a little bit of information about the project that's right here behind us.
Yes, well, thank you, Lisa, and thank you very much for this opportunity to speak about our new exhibit. We are very, very, very proud of it. It has been a work in progress for at least 2 years with a very dedicated team, and Artistic Director, Project Manager, Yarrow Kuntz has been involved with us from day one. And it speaks about, it's funded by the Japanese Canadian Legacy Society. Okay. So we're very grateful to JCLS for giving us the grant to do the work that we're doing. And the project speaks about honoring the two Japanese families on Gabriola, the Koyama family, who established a fish camp, floating fish camp and gas station and store at what is now Page's Resort and Marina in Silva Bay, and the Shinde family, who established the Shinde Sunrise Sawmill, also at Silva Bay. That was Yoshimatsu Shinde. He was the gentleman who started that. So both of these sites are BC heritage sites, and our grant allowed us to develop a 4-part exhibit. So what you see here is the first part, which is the permanent exhibit called Omoide, which is Memories, Recollections and Reminiscences. So we have the miniature diorama of what the floating fish camp.
Oh, so this is the fish camp here.
This is the fish camp here.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
okay.
Fish camp here. And then over here is the Sunrise Sawmill. Okay. So a diorama of what the miniature of what the Sunrise Sawmill looked like. And these were developed from photos, existing photos.
I see that there's a lot of suitcases and trunks here. Is that have any significance to the story that the exhibit will tell?
Yeah, that's a great question. It absolutely does. When the Japanese Canadians were forcibly uprooted during World War II, they were given a very short period of time to pack up their belongings and a very limited amount of what they could take with them. So the suitcase has come to represent the forced uprooting of Japanese Canadians during that time, and many exhibits that also honor Japanese heritage and that time in our Canadian history. Use the suitcase to represent the forcible uprooting of Japanese Canadians. So it links to other exhibits. For example, the Nikkei Museum and Cultural Center in Burnaby also has exhibits with suitcases, as does ours. So it is actually quite symbolic.
Quite symbolic. And I have, during the grand opening, I did hear the question posed, what would you take if you had only a short time to figure out what to take of all of your belongings in one suitcase? So I think it's very important, symbolic, and it makes you think about your own experiences and how you can relate to what the history is. Now, this is the first part of the exhibit. Is there other parts?
Yes. It's a 4-part exhibit, and all parts are permanent. So the second part is a mobile installation at Page's Inn called Gammon, and that means resilience. So it invites the viewer to look at the exhibit, which is based on a dashi festival float, and inside the structure are art pieces that have been created by local artists and curated by our artistic director, Yarrow, and using techniques that are similar to techniques that are reminiscent of Japanese culture as well. So it invites the viewer, when you look at the gammon and look at the art, to think about what culture could have been on Gabriola if those two families, because they were also forcibly uprooted, right, had stayed, and if more Japanese families had come to Gabriola, what our culture might have looked like, actually. So it's an invitation to the viewer. So that's one part, and then the two other parts are two monuments, one to the Koyama family, and then the other one to the Shinde family, and they are both designed to look like torii gates.
Okay.
Right, torii gates, a Shinto torii gate, right? So one is at Silva Bay, and one is at Pages Resort and Marina.
And
right?
these are to honor the ancestors of those families who were here and were removed.
That's right. So it tells the story of each of those families. It also tells the story of what happened to those families when they were forcibly uprooted. And both of them are located either close to or at the location where the floating fish camp and then the Sunrise Sawmill were actually located. And in particularly the torii gate to the Shinde family, the center panel has a picture of the sawmill. And when you look through it, because it's transparent, you actually look out to the site in Silva Bay where the Sunrise Sawmill actually was located. So it's pretty cool because you can superimpose that image on the shore and imagine that you're looking at you're looking at what was there, right?
Very nice. Kind of
really impactful, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of like bringing that history actually to life, and
That's right.
Reawakening it.
That's
So,
right. Yeah. So the project, not only honors those two families, but it also brings awareness to our community and to our visitors as to what did happen to Japanese Canadians during World War II and their experiences as they were forcibly uprooted, and then what happened afterwards, because they weren't able to come back to the BC coast for 2 years after the end of the war, and many chose not to, right? Many chose not to. So those communities no longer exist, or have few Japanese Nikkei people living there.
And now this is a permanent exhibit.
That's right.
And when can folks come to see it?
Yes, it is. All parts of it are permanent. So this exhibit here in the museum, we're open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 till 4. Okay. So people can come in. The gammon exhibit is open all day at Pages Inn. However, I will say it has shutters, so when it rains, we do close them, but it's open for viewing 7/24. And then the torii gates are open all the time. Okay. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Brenda. I really have appreciated chatting with you, and I'm hoping that our Gabriolans will have a chance to come out and learn a little bit more about the history of Gabriola and come to appreciate all the good works of the artists and that have been curated by Yarrow. And
Well, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to speak about our new exhibit. Appreciate that. Thank you.